All right, Shalom, Shalom. Give us 1 second. Fuck YouTube,
We
man.
good, priest.
All right, bet. All right, Shalom, Shalom.
Come on.
All right, before we get started with this lesson, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect that's out here laboring in all truth and sincerity. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, this is the brothers from Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakodash. And pretty much in this lesson, we wanted to, go in on this this Gadite proverb dealing with the two wolves, all right, which in essence proves to you that Gad had to be of the Israelites, because what they were explaining in this proverb is the battle that goes on between the flesh and the spirit. All right, so I'm gonna read this real quick, and then somebody hold Second Ezra chapter 7 verse 57, and then the one about the chains of darkness.
Okay.
All right, so it says, an old Cherokee chief teaching his grandson about life. It says, a fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil, he is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, self-doubt, and ego. The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandson then asked his grandfather which wolf will win. The old chief simply replied, the one you feed. All right, and that's pretty much what's going on inside of each and every brother, sister, pretty much everybody. Whether you're in the truth or not, man, we all face that battle between the flesh and the spirit, man. But it's even more present, now that we have been awakened to the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, and we're aware of the temptations that Satan will use, to play upon our flesh, man. All right, so like this proverb was saying. All right, what you give your power to ultimately is what's gonna, have dominion over you, man. All right. So in this lesson, we pretty much, want to reiterate the fact that, all right, we have to, maintain the spirit, all right, to fight off the flesh, man. Because if you operate in the flesh, you're giving Satan the avenue to get in and destroy you, man. So, y'all brothers, you want to say anything before we get started? Y'all got it.
I got Romans chapter 8 and verse 4. I'm sorry, verse 3. It says, "For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, because we can't keep the whole law." It says, "The Most High sending His own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be filled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh." So if you carnal, you can be carnally minded. You're not going to think in the scriptures. Pretty much you're going to be like a beast, almost like an animal, like doing what you want when you feel like it. It says, "But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Spiritually minded. The scriptures say, John chapter 6 and 63. One got to get it, but just quoting it pretty much that the word is the Spirit. So to have your mind meditating on these scriptures, alluding to Psalms 1 and 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Roughly paraphrasing, the ones that spiritually minded. So it says, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can it be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. So pretty much we got to, live in the Spirit, which pretty much is putting on as the elect and walking in the scriptures.
Con.
Right.
Yeah. You go ahead, Cornwall.
Okay. This is 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 57. Then answered he me and said, "This is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
right? And the condition of the battle is us being in these chains of darkness, which is called the flesh. All right, this earthly tabernacle, which Satan, has the reins to pretty much, mess with us. Like when you read the book of Job, all right, when Satan made that wager with Yahweh, all right, he pretty much was given, all access to touch Job in pretty much, whatever way that he saw fit, except, as the first part of the wager, he told him that he couldn't, touch his person, all right, which means that he couldn't actually, touch him physically. So what he did was, went for, his possessions, man. All right, he lost all his cattle. He lost his children. All right, he lost everything pretty much, man. Then at the second part of that wager, the Lord actually allowed Satan to touch his person to where Satan afflicted, Job with the boils, had him looking crazy or whatnot, and pretty much all that to make, Job, curse the Most High, man. But Job was a man that kept his integrity. All right, he was a righteous, upright man, and so that's the same sentiment that we take in this faith, man, because we understand this is the condition of the battle, man. We're going to constantly be fighting against this flesh until Hamashiach Yahweh Shai returns, man, because it's all a test to see who is going to keep their integrity until the end, man. That's why the scripture tells you in Revelation, all right, all these people out here talking about they're saved, but really the scriptures say only ones that will be saved is those that endure unto the end, which we're not at the end just yet. All right, we're nearing it, but hey, destruction hasn't happened yet. Salvation hasn't happened yet. So nobody's truly saved yet, man. So we got to understand the position that we're in, man. Okay.
That's right. I wanted to get that word condition real quick in the etymological dictionary. It says a particular mode of being of a person or thing, but the point I wanted to read is a requisite or prerequisite, a stipulation, right? So these things are, requirements, that you have to go through, right, in this walk. We've been putting this flesh in these chains of darkness as we read, and we've been put in there in these positions to overcome, right, these various vices and these various weaknesses, man, right, to prove our faith, in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because if we weren't in this position, we wouldn't have anything to fight towards, man, right? Because we'd already be in the second covenant, man, right? So the Lord put us in this position, so that we know that we need His help, man.
Con. Real quick, somebody get 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4, and then Romans chapter 8 and around the 18th verse.
I got Romans 8.
Con.
Yes,
Yeah,
Peter.
start at 18 and go down to 20. But yeah, get that 2 Peter 2 4 first.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4, it reads, For if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai spare, or Salakia, for if Yahweh spare not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness, to be reserved unto judgment.
Mm-hmm. So it said, if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai did not spare the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell. Now the angels it's talking about is not, fallen angels, or like it showed you in that whack-ass movie, The Book of Noah, or the whatever it was called, Noah, with them stone angels. No, the angels are talking about is us. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We are angels as well as the angels that's in the spiritual realm right now, man. So we were cast down to hell, which is here, all right, Babylon, okay, because this place is the hell for the Israelites. It says, and delivered into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. The chains of darkness is his flesh, all right, because we're constantly striving against the spirit, all right, the flesh versus the spirit, because, like I said, we're fighting to be amongst the number of the elect, man, all right, and it's going to be a constant fight, of temptation, because it tells you in Sirach chapter 2, verse 1, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So that fight is constantly, going on, man. That's why I said this is the condition of the battle, man. Knowing what you're getting into whenever you come into this faith, because these people in the world, they're going through, the same fight, but they're doing it unknowingly. They don't know why they're catching hell. They don't know why they, have certain thoughts, get, impulses and, different things that happen to them. All right, but we understand because the Lord let us know that, this is what the condition of the battle is, man. All right. That's why I'll get one more before you get that Romans. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right. And so that's the whole, our whole calling is to pretty much suffer until Yahweh Shai returns, man, because at the end of the day, Yahushua knows better than any of us because he came in the flesh, man. He went through what we went through and worse. That's why in Hebrews 12 it tells you that we didn't suffer unto blood, man. All right, because Yahushua went up on the cross, man. He was ridiculed, he was spat on, he was stabbed. You know, he suffered the worst punishment that any man on the earth ever faced. Yet he still held his integrity and completed, you know, the task that Yahweh Shema Shai had for him, man. You know.
God.
Let me get that Romans.
Con.
This is Romans chapter 8 and verse, you said 18?
Con.
For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by the reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope.
Right. So back at 18 it says we reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us, because we understand that this suffering is temporary. We're not going to always be in this position, man. All right. But we have to go through this, all right, to earn our place in the kingdom of heaven, man. Because nobody is just going to be given their spot, man. Everything is fought for and earned, man. All right. So we understand that what we go through right now, we're not going to be thinking about this when we're in the kingdom. You know, this is going to be an afterthought, but we have to bear this because this is what was written that we had to go through. So it says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God, because the whole world is waiting for us to take off these chains of darkness and put on that glorious apparel, all right, which is those new bodies that the Lord has saved up for us, man. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope, right? So we were put in these fleshly bodies for the sole purpose of us learning how to be righteous judges, man. Because one thing that we understand since coming into this knowledge is that to truly be a judge, we had to have full knowledge of good and evil. All right. So we understand that the goodness is already sealed in us, all right, because of the law, statute, commandments. All right. We know that we're going to be fully righteous in the kingdom of heaven, but we had to go through everything, you know, since the fall from Adam all the way up until this point, so that we can fully understand and grasp the whole point of why wickedness should not be exalted in the earth, man.
That's right.
If y'all really got anything, y'all go ahead.
God. Well, just going back to that Second Peter, right? You know, it talks about those chains of darkness being those bodies, and you go into chains. Chains are something that's used to hold something down, man. You know, so we've been held down, right, so that we know what it's like to not be able to move in the way that you want to move, man. Right. That's why the scriptures go into, you know, that which I don't want to do, I do, but that which I do, I do not, man. Right, roughly paraphrasing, because you know we want to live as righteously as possible, but we're still subject to this flesh, man. Right. So as the precept went into, right, it's the condition, it's the lot that we're in right now to have to overcome these things, man. To have to fight this battle of the flesh, man.
God.
Yeah, somebody want to get what you had quoted. That's Romans 7. Start at I think the 14th verse.
God, this is Romans chapter 7 and verse 14. It says, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that do I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that is good. Now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good.
You finish
Keep
that.
going.
No, you can finish that.
God says, for the good that I would do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but the sin that dwelleth in me.
Because it's a constant battle, you know, between the spirit and the flesh, man. Right. And these bodies are subject to sin. Right. So it's a non-stop, you know, putting off that old man. Right. It's not just a one-time thing. Right. It's always, you know, something back there, right, that you have to keep cutting off, that you have to keep removing. Right. right? That you have to keep, staying away from, man, right? Because it wouldn't be a fight if you could just quit it, cold turkey and it just be gone, right? You have to overcome, right, that lingering, those demons ultimately that are lingering behind you, man, right? Because this
Right.
world is continually trying to pull you back in.
Right.
I had, Salaki, go ahead.
I'm about to say, because pretty much, the Lord is getting the first fruits, and the first fruits is the best. So to be the best, you got to have overcame something. I had a quick scripture if I can get it. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 13. It says, For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. So pretty much living in the Spirit, is how the elect, by believing in Hamashiach, is how the elects will be able to overcome the world, overcome the flesh,
You gotta feed the spirit, because like the proverb was saying, we're just using what they said, using what wolf, you feed the most is what's gonna have the most power. So if you're constantly sowing to the flesh, all right, then you're gonna, pretty much be in the flesh. But if you're constantly, sowing to the spirit, you're feeding the spirit, that's what's gonna have a preeminence over you. You gotta talk about.
Just adding to that, like brothers were saying, the importance of feeding the spirit as opposed to the flesh. You have to keep that balance. All of us do. And it's imperative because, like brothers have said, there's various forces that are trying to pull you back into the world, right? To try to sift you. And Yahweh Shai himself gave warning of this taking place. This is Luke chapter 22 and verse 31. It says, And the Lord says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So, like brothers has said, priest has said earlier, these people in the world, they're going through, that straight, but they don't know what's going on, right? So the fact that we've woken up to what we're involved in, it's a more conscious battle that we have to be very mindful of, because when you get this word sift, it's Strong's G 4617. It says to sift, shake, and a sieve. It says figuratively by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow.
That's the main one. The agitate you inwardly to overthrow your faith, because what you it's another scripture I'm about to get to, pretty much dealing with Satan, because like you said, this is an ongoing battle with forces that we can't see. All right, so real quick, you can break it down. This is Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. I started 11, 10. It says, Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right. So here it is. We're being told, all right, to be strong in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right. The scriptures do tell us, right, that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. When we call upon the names of the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, there's power behind what we're doing, right, in the acts and what we speak, right? It says to put on the whole armor to stand against the wiles of the devils. When you go into that word wiles, if I'm not mistaken, it means deceive, or devices, right? Tricks, rules. So there's various schemes that we live in a world of Babylon. We live in a world that's operated by the vibration of Babylon. So there's various things that are out there to try and ensnare you Israelites that are walking down this road of faith. Right? To try to pull at that flesh.
To add to what you just said, 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Right. The spiritual demon Satan is literally going around trying to knock people off of their journey into the straight gate. Right. But that's what you have to be conscious of, and it's literally made manifest in this battle between the flesh and the spirit.
That's right.
Right. That's why as we continue, were we still reading in that second Ezra 7? Was it still more now?
There's a point you can go to. Let me finish out this Ephesians, then I'll throw it back.
Done.
Ephesians 5:12, or 6:12, so it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in the high places."
Right. Spiritual wickedness in high places, the rulers of this world. This world is governed by the wicked, right? Spiritual wickedness in high places, the angels, the
Mm-hmm.
left-hand angels in the heavens. That's the battle that we're fighting in is a different type of battle.
Right.
So that's why this battle to fight to get into the kingdom is such a beautiful journey, because you're literally combating against a force that's unseen that most people can't bother to see.
Yeah.
But you have the wherewithal to contend against the flesh.
Yeah. Because you made a heavy point about how pretty much, this, once you're consciously fighting this battle, pretty much that fight becomes harder, because now Satan he knows that That's like when you watch Fallen, that movie with Denzel, and that movie pretty much it shows you on how these demons, pretty much how they possess people. And one thing that the demon, I think his name was Azazel or something like that in the movie, he pretty much told Denzel when he called him by his name, he was like, "Oh," I said, "So you know my name?" So it's like, "Now I'm about to mess with you extra hard now." And then the rest of the movie, and he was fucking with Denzel all the way up until the end, man.
Yep.
So that's the same thing that we face in this walk now, because, like I said, everybody is going through the same thing. But like I said, we are aware of what's going on. Just as much as we're aware of the left hand demons, we're also aware of the right hand demons who are here to help us, man. All right. So real quick, this is
And if I may say, for you, to land back,
go
just to
ahead.
make a point, like bro was saying, the fight, don't really start right until you fight back, right?
Exactly.
Right. Jake just getting beat up out here, so Satan ain't really fucking with them like that, right? As soon as you swing back, he's like, oh, okay, now, I can turn up, right? Because now he understands that you trying to go against what he's trying to push upon you, man.
This nigga
Right?
think he tough.
Right, exactly.
He already got 2/3. Scripture say he wants the elect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'll get to the elect.
That's his desire.
Yep.
Right.
That's his whole MO. See if he can overthrow one of the Lord's righteous, man. Which is it said that the righteous is not going to be taken out of the Lord's hand, man. But he's going to try. Just when you read Job, like I heard brother say this when I first came into camp. When you read Job, take out his name and put your name, and that whole story literally is our walk, because Satan knew that Job was one of the Lord's, elect, but he still wanted to try him anyway,
Mm-hmm.
But this is Isaiah 59:15. It says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey." And that's exactly what the Tazmam just said, man. Okay, when you become conscious of your walk, and now you're trying to live a righteous lifestyle. Now all these demons that are all throughout Babylon, man, now they're gunning for you because they know that you're woke. That's like in that movie They Live. All right, when Roddy Piper character put them glasses on, and he started to see everything for really what it was, the alien people, they was like, "Oh, we got one that can see now." And that's what these demons say when a brother wakes up. That's why your hell increases, because like Quanah said, man, hey, when you start fighting back, that's when the true, fight begins, man. So it says, "Yea, true faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment," because we're getting persecuted for righteousness' sake, and nobody is here to fight our cause, man. Even though we got our fight, or our Redeemer is in the heavens preparing to come back and vindicate us, man. But right here, in our everyday lives, man, we don't have anybody that's truly standing up for our cause, man. All right, that's why people think we're crazy, we're bugged out. Brothers that gave up their whole lives for this truth. But ultimately, man, we know it is for a better purpose, because we understand what awaits for us at the end of this thing whenever we, Lord willing, complete this walk, man.
That's right. If I may, Quanah, did you finish out that second Esdras 7?
I can go back to it. I got you.
I got it right here. What verse?
I'm at already. 57.
Okay,
57, 58. It's second Esdras chapter 7 and verse 57. And answer he me, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
Mhm.
That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said.
Right.
But if
So
he,
if it's saying if he be overcome, right? Now, what is it that's going to overcome 2/3 of our people? Right? The flesh.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna lean into the flesh. They're gonna cast their they're gonna cast away their blessing to take that implantable device so that they can try to continue their normal lives, and it's gonna end up real bad for them to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right,
And that's why they're going to suffer, as it's written in the book of Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, that they must learn after death by pain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you keep reading.
Yeah, because Jake
so
don't really understand that the terms that the Lord laid out for us, man. Because even in the circumcision, you got Jake out here that don't truly understand the condition of the battle, man. Because they think they can merge the world with the truth, man. When when the world all it's doing is affording you to live, whatever fleshly desire that you refuse to give up and try to, merge it in with this truth, man. But that's not gonna work. That's gonna be a stumbling block. That's why it tells you in 1 John 2:15, love not the world, neither things that are in the world. All right, if any
Mm-hmm.
man have love of the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right, because you refuse to let go of whatever it is that your flesh lusted after, man. You know,
Yep.
so you're gonna be overcome if you can't let that go.
Man, I must add to that point that you just made, brother.
Mm-hmm. Go
I
ahead.
must. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, and I'll just get straight to the point. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10 and 7, it says, of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and the standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul.
Mm.
Right? So what this is referencing is Lot during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, specifically that pillar of salt being his wife, who we know
Mm-hmm.
turned her back and looked back at what was already destined to be destroyed. Literally, you got you got fire and brimstone coming down, and she turned back. Right? We can't look back at this place because this place is already going to be destroyed. But Satan is going to try to use various tactics to try to make you want to look back and see Babylon and look at it as that a beautiful city. But we've already come to the realization of what it is.
And even when we shrink that down, you got it just on your average walk, whatever it is of how we know we gotta shed off the old man. So we got particular traits, and different things that we battling in our own walk that you're trying to let go of. And like you said, Satan will constantly put in your mind like, look, you want to look back on what you're missing, the pleasure that it gave you, different things like that. So that's why that example you brought out is heavy, because the main thing that the reason why Lot's wife, got dehydrated like that, because she was told, don't look back. So as they were leaving,
Mhm.
they she thought about all the substance that they had back in Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's why she looked back. And so, like I said, looking at that on a minute level, as just far as what we go through in our walk, man, we gotta have that same mentality, because when you go into that book, was it Manners, Biblical Customs? It has a section there about not looking back, man, because they said even with that, when a man would leave his house, if he forgot something, he still wouldn't look back, man. All right, his wife or whoever would have to bring it to him, man. That's how serious that was back then. So we gotta adopt that mind state right now. You got some more on that? Tazwan?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, I'm gonna add to you. This is Luke 17:32, short and simple. Remember Lot's wife.
so.
For real.
But like you
So
said, Priest, that looking back, right, being our custom, you know, uh, looking back it's a showing of a lack of faith, right,
exactly.
and a lack of preparation, because if you're looking back, that means you didn't do enough, in the pretense, in the time that you had afforded to you to prepare, to get ready to move forward, right. So as we're going into, you put off the old man, you cut off that flesh, right. We leave that behind us, you have to keep pushing forward because you can't turn back to that, man. Because as soon as you turn back to it, you're giving it that power, you're giving it that strength, that it's longing for, and it's showing that you ultimately didn't fully remove that thing, man.
Con, I got you right here. This is not Luke, fuck it. Galatians 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Just confirming what your one read earlier in Romans 8, man.
Mhm.
That's how you combat the flesh, man. All right, you got to starve it out by walking in the spirit. All right. It says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the thing that you would." Yeah, you can't be in the spirit and still abiding in the things of the flesh, man. You either feed in one or the other, man. So
Right.
it says, "But if you be led of the spirit, you are not under the law." Now we know that the law, pretty much as you was reading in Romans 8, it was made to subject the flesh, man. All right, and the reason why we are in this position because we're not able to keep the law, man. All right, where we were at fault for breaking the law. All right, and so therefore this is why we die, like it says in Psalms 82 and verse 6. All right, we are gods, but we shall die like men. All right, and we're dying like men because these chains of darkness have a hold over us, man.
Yep.
Because we can't be in the spirit 100% of the time, man. Hey, you gotta feed the flesh at times too, man. All right, but it's a thing about being disciplined. That's the whole point of when you call yourself a disciple. The root word in disciple is discipline, man. And you gotta discipline yourself, man. All right. If I'm not mistaken, that's what Mashalyim.
You said Mashalyim?
Yeah, that's discipline.
That goes into Mashalyim is a proverb. Is a proverb. I'll get the word for you though.
Yeah, Bible Gashah. No, Ma'azun. Is it Ma'azun? I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm
Yeah, if you pull it up real quick,
that after that I had two.
All right. So yeah, you gotta have discipline, man. So you gotta learn how to discipline your flesh, which is like I said, you feed in the spirit and you starve the flesh out, man. All right.
Which
So you gonna say something?
pretty much my azanium that goes into a balance. So I mean you got to be balanced, if you're gonna be a disciple. But this is the word for discipline. It says mawasar. All right.
Mama, sorry, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It says discipline, chastening, correction, chastening, discipline. It says to check. You got to check yourself. It says instruction. It says also restraint. So you gotta restrain yourself pretty much. The scriptures say he that gets the victory, roughly paraphrasing, is temperate in all things. Being
Yeah.
mild, showing temperance.
Yep. And to add to what you just said, like I said, you gotta starve the flesh out. So here's an example of displaying discipline. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 30. It says, "Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetites. If thou givest thy soul the desire that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee." All right, so you gotta cut your pleasures off, man. Not saying 100%, but you gotta balance it out to where you're not overly indulging. Because when you do that, they say it's a proverb in the world: too much of a good thing is a bad thing. You
Right.
know, so that goes into anything. Whether it's food, whatever particular pleasures, whatever whatever it is that you're doing. You could even be overzealous in the spirit, man. That's why the whole point is being balanced. All right. But this is dealing with your lust of the flesh, man. All right. So you don't want to, overly indulge in your lust because, like I said, it will make you a laughingstock to thy enemies because now they have a means to hold over you to cause you to fall. So you can't give Satan any avenue, man.
I got two. This is
Go ahead.
Galatians 6 and verse 8. It says, "For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting." And that's why it says in Micah chapter 2 and verse 10 to arise ye and depart. Because if you look at America, with the whole world right now, it's pretty much feeding the flesh.
Yeah.
It's pretty much was mentioned in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, all of that is out here, so that's why you got to be mindful and arise ye and depart. And get that. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart. All right, depart spiritually, feed the spirit more. That's essentially how you arise. You stand. It says,
Mm-hmm.
for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword of destruction. Going back to Galatians chapter 6 and verse 8, it says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. So if you feed the flesh all the time, you'll be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Matter of fact, keep read out in verse 9. That's still on point too.
Okay. This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
Right, and going back to that second Ezra 7, man, the one that's gonna get the victory is the one that's sown to the spirit, man. Because if you're constantly, feeding your spirit, which is tapping into Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, ultimately you're gonna be given that the wherewithal to be able to endure, man. Because like it was mentioned, you quoted it, but that was mentioned in the parable, all right, because it said the one wolf. All right, it said he is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, self-doubt, and ego. These are all works of the flesh, man. And just to tie it back to let you know, this is Galatians 5 and 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that they which do these things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And that's what 2/3 are indulging in, because they're fully immersed in the world, man. All right, they're feeding that flesh, man. And as we read it in Romans 8, if you're someone to the flesh, now you have beef with the Heavenly Father, because you can't serve Him operating the flesh, man. So you got to feed the Spirit, and one of the fruits of the Spirit, which is the other wolf, it said, who is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith, which is verse 22 in Galatians 5. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. Because when you go into the fruits of the Spirit, it's all about bringing forth a life, which that's what the Spirit does. As you quoted earlier, John 6:63, man. The Lord made us a life with the fruit of the Spirit, and we're supposed to help emulate that by bringing those traits forward, man. All right, and teaching others on how to act as such, man. But when you're constantly sown to the flesh, that brings pretty much destruction. All right, because hey, as us being the men of the Lord, us being Israelites, period, we were created to create. When you're in your flesh, you're just consuming. You're consuming everything, which is ultimately a destructive. It's a destructive trait, because if you consume too much, then you begin to destroy, which is what Esau has done. All right, and everything that this word is teaching you is how to consume. That's why in one of the things that was said and They Live, when he was reading, the billboards and all that, it was telling him to consume. And what do you see in this world? All right, all on TV, you're seeing these different commercials on, feeding you with this GMO food garbage. Consume. You got the porn, you got women, pretty much prostituting themselves, man. It's all consuming, madness that's meant to destroy you. But the Spirit is helping to pretty much make you alive, man.
Right. Hey, like you say, priest, you are what you eat, right?
Exactly.
Right. You consume, through various mediums or various platforms, right? Whether you're hearing it, whether you're reading it, right? Whether your spirit is absorbing that energy, right?
Right.
So if you constantly in the flesh, you constantly around fleshly things, right? Your flesh is the thing that's going to, push forward, man. Right. That's why the scriptures say to mortify the deeds of the flesh. And you go into that word mortify, it talks about depriving of power, right, and destroying the strength of it, man, right?
Mm.
So we're trying to deprive the power that the flesh has over us, man, by staying in the spirit, man.
Kind. Because like you mentioned that's what you said was pretty much your diet, and your diet doesn't consist just of the food you're actually putting in your mouth. It's everything that you're consuming, like you said, whether it's music, the stuff that you're watching, the stuff you're seeing. the people you're around, man, because you consume energy. You know, all these things take a toll on you. That's why you have to continually stay plugged into your power source, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man.
Can I get a word for you?
Go ahead.
It says, it's a lot. Go back. It says diet. It says regular food from medieval Latin dietia, parliamentary assembly, also a day's work, daily food allowance. It says prescribed way of life, a way of life regimen.
A way of life, man. And what is our way of life, man? The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the law, statutes, commandments. Us being Israelites, that is our way of life, man, which is, you know, to pretty much, you know, have a discipline, man. You know, as you mentioned earlier, pretty much the mortifying of your flesh to obtain the victory. All right. So, like I said, you got to do that by constantly feeding the spirit, man. We're going to keep reiterating that point. All right. So from there, get 1 Peter chapter 1 and read from verse 3 down to 9.
I got it.
And then somebody else hold Hebrews 11 and 1.
I get it.
You said 1 Peter 3 and 9, correct?
1 Peter 1 and 3.
1 and 3, Salakia.
You good?
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 3, the header reads, a living hope and a sure salvation.
Mm-hmm.
It says, blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach from the dead.
Right, because hey, like we were saying, man, the Lord brought us back to life, man. And he put his breath inside of us. He reanimated us, gave us purpose again, man. All right, so our whole duty is to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, because we owe the Lord everything, man. All right, that's why it says, blessed be the Lord and Father of our power, Yahushua HaMashiach, which according to his abundant mercy have begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach from the dead, man. Because, hey, we could have easily been like these 2/3 that's out here completely lost, man. But the Lord had mercy upon us to wake us up, you know, to give us a fighting chance at salvation. Keep on.
Verse 4, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you.
Yeah, an inheritance incorruptible, because what can this world offer you, all right, that, you know, will make a rational person, you know, give up his chance at salvation, man. Now that we fully understand what salvation really is, man. Okay, because this world gives you all bullshit that's going to pass away once this world, you know, it vanishes, man. Because you got niggas that literally use their whole existence just to chase some box. All right, these niggas are pretty much, like it says, for the they'll work their body to the bone to pretty much, you know, be an athlete, to be like the ultimate hustler, you know, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, you know, whatever business. They'll give all that, you know, for these temporal, you know, glories. But what we're going to get is an incorruptible inheritance and undefiled, which is being made perfect and having an everlasting rulership, man.
Right.
God. Verse 5, who are kept by the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time.
Right. And so everything that we're talking about is supposed to be helping feed that faith so that you have the wherewithal to finish the race, man. Right? To endure to the end, man. Okay, the flesh doesn't help you, you know, pretty much build your faith. It actually hurts your faith, man. Because when you have these fleshly, you know, fights that you're going through and you fall, all right, it you get down on yourself, man. The demon, that doubt demon, you know, come into your mind, you know, telling you ain't good enough, you know, that hey, you fall short, that you ain't a man of the Lord, and all these different things, because you're giving leeway for them demons to come into your mind, man. All right, but when you are sown to that faith, you're recognizing and clinging to that power that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has shown you that it's inside of you, man.
Mm-hmm. I got this in the NLT if I could read this right quick.
Go ahead.
It is beautiful. It says, 1 Peter 1 and 5 in NLT. It says, matter of fact, hold up, Slaki. I don't know why I just went back to KJV. Slaki.
You good?
1 Peter 1 and 5 in the NLT, it says, and through your faith Yahweh Shem Yahushai is protecting you by his power until you receive this salvation. And the scriptures do tell us, right, that faith is a gift.
Yes.
So we were given the gift of awareness and protection all the way to the point where we will be afforded the opportunity of salvation and be a part of the first fruits to inherit an everlasting kingdom.
Man, that's all predicated on your faith, man. You know,
Yep.
real quick, you want to get that the faith definition?
I got a little bit more here.
No, we're just going real quick. It's gonna be quick. The Hebrews 11:1, real quick.
This is Hebrews Ibarium chapter 11 and verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen."
Right. So what you just said, that is the confirmation that we have help, that we have the power to overcome whatever it is that the flesh lusted after, man. As said, the scriptures talk about the Lord gave us the Lord pretty much gave us the spirit that we overcame this world already, man. But we got to believe in that by tapping into the spirit. But you got it.
Done. 1 Peter 1:5 in the latter says, which is ready to be revealed on the last day for all to see. So the kingdom, as it tells us in the book of 2nd Ezra, is already prepared.
Yep.
Right? We just have to watch. We just have to keep our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, continue to endure and battle against the flesh so that we can receive salvation, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is protecting us through this whole journey.
Yeah, and to add to what you said, the crowns are already laid up for the elect too.
Yep.
We just got to go ahead and fight to earn that, man. Because whoever is meant to earn them crowns at the end, it's already saved for, man. The victory is already written for the elect. We just have to play it out in these bodies, man, which is part of the test, man. This is why Satan is going so hard to try to make brothers fall short, man, because he gets his glory off of making brothers fall out, man.
Yep.
So we can't give him that satisfaction, and how we don't do that is by constantly running back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua for everything, man. Because when you pray, you're essentially begging the Lord for help, man. Because we know we don't have the power to overcome Satan or these lower level demons, man. Because these demons still got power over us right now in this flesh, man. Yep. So we need Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but that faith is what gives you the power to stand up and be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna fall, man. I'm not gonna give up my crown, like the scriptures tell you, man. Let no man take that crown. And the most important person that they're talking about is yourself, man.
Yep.
God, I got a quick one for you, priest. It's Romans 13 and verse 14. But put ye on the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
Yeah, put on the Lord, man, and don't make provision for the flesh. Don't give Satan an opportunity, all right, to get a victory over you, man. All right, because hey, we know that we're gonna fall sometimes, man. But it's about the what's that saying they got? It's pretty much you lose the battle, but you haven't lost the war or something like that. I forgot exactly how it's worded.
That's
pretty
right.
much it's worded. Yeah, okay. So that's the thing, man. Scripture tell you a righteous man falls 7 times, but he get back up.
Get it for you.
Go ahead.
This is Moshe, Proverbs 24:16. It says, "For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief."
Yeah, man. So you're gonna continue to get back up because you have faith that the Lord is gonna forgive us, man. Matter of fact, the brother Anwar, in the spirit, man, he sent this to me earlier. I'm gonna read it. He was pretty much saying, as long as we're fighting and recognizing our shortcomings, that will help us continue to constantly work on improving ourselves, man. So every day is a continual fight from ourselves, giving ourselves, over to Yahweh Shem Yahushua to ask for the strength to make it through another day, man, until the end.
That's right. God, I got this word for provisions here in the Free Dictionary. It says the act of making preparations for a possible or future event or situation, right? So we were told not to make provisions in the flesh, right? Not to make preparations in the flesh, right? But we're making preparation in the spirit, man, right? We're storing up those treasures in heaven. And like you may mention, though, priest, we're taking each day by day, we're making preparations in the spirit to overcome the flesh, man, because we know our weaknesses, right? So we do things ahead of time in the spirit, to overcome where we know we have shortcomings at, man. Right? That's the beauty of being given this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is you've been given the foresight, of prophecy, but as well as your day to day walk and how you move about the world, man.
Yeah, because like we read in Ephesians 6, man, that's a part of you putting the whole armor on, man. The helmet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read that real quick, then we'll go back to that Peter, because that's how you make the preparation to fight against the different things, man. Because you got the method of prayer. The scriptures tell you to pray without ceasing. And that's something that's been I've been implementing as of late. I see that's been major, man. The scripture talk about like King David, for example, him and Daniel, they both prayed multiple times throughout the day. Like I said, man, morning, noon, and night, man. You gotta send up them protection prayers, man. Anointing yourself, man. Like I said, you got the body you need to talk to about whatever you're going through. These are different things, the tools that the Lord has given you to be able to fight, man. So this is Ephesians 6:13. It says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints." Now, I was doing some studying on this passage right here. You notice that all these things were given, they're all defense, defense mechanism, except for the sword of the Spirit, which is the word. So the only thing that we have to go on the offensive with is Hebrews 4:12. All right. Like how when Yahushua was being tempted by Satan, what was he doing? He was cutting Satan with the word, man. And so that's how we fight, against these demons, man. We can't beat them on our own, so we got to use the scriptures, man, the Spirit.
That's
all right. So like I said, praying is the major one. Prayer and fasting, and just constantly, building that relationship up with the Lord, man. That's how we, gain that victory at the end, man. What you got, Cosmo? Or whoever had a precept.
I didn't have one.
All right, you go ahead then.
So let me go back to it. 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 6, it says, "Wherein," back in the KJV, "wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptation."
Right, and we're in that now, but it's going to increase even more. That's what is called Jacob's trouble, man. All right, which is going to lead all the way up into the hour of temptation, which is going to be the ultimate form of temptation to try your integrity, man. But all the way up until that point is going to be, manifold temptations taking place, man, causing you. The Lord is going to put you in various situations to see what you're going to do, man. This is why the scriptures tell you to walk with wisdom. All right.
God. Hey, because Jacob's trouble is going to be a showcase of our faith, man. You know, it's giving the Lord, it's putting us front and center to show how much you believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. And like scriptures tell you, if you don't believe, you won't be defended, man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord is giving you, ample opportunity, right? And he's going to put you in situations where the only option you have is to believe. And if you don't believe, you're going to fall victim to whatever judgments he has set before, man. But those who do believe, it's going to be shown, who the power is that is protecting them, man.
Right, man. This whole time we've been walking with the study guide, man. Like we've been practicing, doing different, pop quizzes or whatnot. But the final exam is going to be, that Jacob's trouble was ultimately that hour of temptation, man.
Yep.
No,
go ahead.
I was pretty much about to say it all starts with what you've been doing, because you're not gonna go to, the game, and you ain't been practicing, and you're not gonna perform good. It pretty much goes into like your diet, like you just said, the lifestyle, the way of life. I got a quick precept real fast if I can.
Go ahead.
This is Psalms, the Volume, chapter 1, And verse 1. It says, Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. Which meditating day and night, and pretty much what you're meditating on, what you're thinking on, is going to transfer over to your conduct. You see, so going into that diet, your lifestyle, pretty much walking in righteousness. Because that's going to create them habits. Therefore, when the game come, when the test come, you pass the test with flying colors through the Spirit.
Yeah, because the kind of what you were saying, like it's certain things that the Lord wants you to get rid of on your own. Because like you made that, I think you said that last week, where the Lord he's putting you in the position to get rid of these things now before he manually takes them away. Because like you said, once he gets up, now it's time for you to really see, okay, can you do without it, man? So it's best to, for you to already know in your mind, yeah, you don't need that, man. And you can get rid of it.
Jumping back to like 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7, it says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Because your faith is going to be rewarded if you endure to the end, man. Because everything that Satan is doing to try to overthrow your faith, all right, it's going to make it that much more precious when you withstood the test of time, and now you're taking part in that crowning ceremony that we read about in the latter part of 2nd Ezra chapter 2.
Yep. I got something right quick. I want to read this in the NLT.
Go ahead.
1 Peter 1:7 in the NLT, it says, these trials, Salakia, give me 1 second. I do not disturb, turn back off. It says, 1 Peter 1:7 NLT, it says, these trials will show that your faith is genuine.
Woo, man.
It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. If you equate that, just think about it. Gold has a value in the world. It's esteemed as a tangible asset that's always going to be good in standing with any market. Your faith exceeds that value. Like your faith is going to be a catalyst through the grace and mercy of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for you to be saved. For us to be saved, Lord willing, like this is way more valuable than some fucking gold chains.
Bro. This is immortal memorial that's going to be made of you because of your faith, man. And we got the examples. I'm gonna read this real quick and I'm gonna quote. This is Sirach chapter 44:1. It says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us." And then when you read from Sirach chapter 44 all the way to about the 51st chapter, these are all memorials of men that showcase their faith. Also in Hebrews chapter 11, man. So that just added on to what you just said, man. That's the magnifying of what we're trying to get to, man.
Yep. Got a little bit more in this in the NLT, verse 7. In the latter, it says, so when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor. All right, as the brother had referenced in the book of Sirach, right? Our forefathers that remained strong in their trials, they were memorialized, right? And we pray to be in that position when Yahushua returns. It says, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Yahushua HaMashiach is revealed to the whole world.
Yeah, because you're going to be made, as it says in 1 John. I'll get that real quick. One of my favorite scriptures. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. It says, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it will not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we
Mhm.
shall see him as he is. So just as Yahweh Shah is going to get that glory when he returns, man, the elect are also going to get that glory when they're going to be beamed up in those in that UFO and given those new bodies, man. You know, and that's going that salvation is going to be for the whole world to witness us as being, Lord willing, the sons of God, man, the elect, man. Okay, so that's the part of the motivating factor of what keeps your faith strong to endure to the end, man. Cause we desire that glory, man. Because everything about this truth, like you heard the brothers in Dallas always going to, is always glory to glory, man. We're always to get onto that next level, and in order for you to level up, sacrifices got to be made. You got to let certain things go that's holding you back, man. You know, and the Lord will always give you, glimpses of what you're capable of, but then you got to put in the work to get there, man.
That's right.
Mm. So,
I got one for you, priest.
You got it.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, and I'll start in verse 10. It reads, Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushua with eternal glory.
Mm.
It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. So in that being dead and suffering, right, that's you denying the flesh, man, right? That's you denying this world, right? Separating yourself, from the cares of this life, So you want to continue to deny on this side, right? So that you can be accepted, right? Because if you're not denying the flesh, you're denying the spirit, and in denying the spirit, right, he's going to deny you, right? So it's a
Exactly.
continual, accepting of the spirit and spiritual things and denying the fleshly matters, man.
Bro, it's all part of the fight, man. I got this
That's right.
quote real quick. It says, "The Most High doesn't give the hardest battles to his toughest soldiers. He creates the toughest soldiers through life's hardest battle, or life's hardest battles." So everything that we're going through is made to pretty much level us up to the point to where we're going to be seen as the sons of God when we get delivered, man, Lord willing, man. So understanding that only way we can be made tough is continue to sow to the spirit, and then like I said, that's how you level up, man.
I wanted to add to that point. That goes to show you that this walk is truly is a real walk. This is really the walk of the elect, because you'll have Jake in the world. They'll be like, I hope I'm not one of God's strongest soldiers for this year. And you'd
That's
be like,
crazy.
damn, nigga, for real?
That's crazy.
But it's because they don't want to cast off the flesh. They're not willing to go through that battle. They're not willing to make any sacrifices. They're not willing to let go of the fashion of this world.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you have brothers and sisters and children that are literally trying to get into the kingdom, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That shows you that the Lord is literally opening certain believers to this word so that they can contend for the faith, so that they can contend for their crown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like just going into what Quantum was saying, we got to be mindful of what we're putting our spirit into, man. You can't be sown to the flesh more than what you're sown to the spirit, man. Because real quick, this is Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. It says, "Be not deceived, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to the flesh shall reap of the flesh corrupt. It's like he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting." So, like you were saying, that balance out, because, like you said, if you're sowing to the flesh, ultimately you're denying the spirit, and vice versa. So, whatever you put your spirit in the most, that's what you're going to reap at the end of the day, man. All right, and it says the Most High is not mocked, because, like you said, you're denying Him when you want to continue to involve yourself in the world and indulge in the flesh. Verse 9,
Right.
"And let us be not weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So just had to bring that back out again because we understand this final hour that we're approaching. All right, everything that we've been doing up until this point is going to show forth. All right, what you've been putting your spirit to, man. So we got to be, sown to the spirit. That way we can, be able to walk in the spirit. Because how are you gonna walk in the spirit when you never put the time in to actually grow in the spirit, man? That's what these other Israelite groups that's acting like they're in the truth but still being worldly. That's what they're gonna find out the hard way, man. Because here it is, these niggas is partying, they're making rap songs, they're doing all this worldly bullshit. Now with Jacob's Trouble hits, these niggas ain't did no type of spiritual preparation. Now it's gonna be game time, and they're gonna be out there fucking cold. They ain't stretched or nothing. They're gonna be out here getting messed up, man. And the Lord's gonna knock their ass out, man.
I got a precept just for you, priest. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 6. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Right? So
man,
we're trying to sow in the spirit bountifully, man. Right? So that we can reap bountifully, so we can have those rewards in the spirit, man. Right? Storing up those treasures in heaven. Right? Keeping our eye, on the spiritual things, man. Right? We want that abundance that the Lord has prepared for us, man. So we do our best to sow in the spirit, bountifully, because we see Jake sowing in his flesh bountifully, right? Now they're reaping the rewards on this side, but what's the ultimate reward that they're going to receive is that death through the nuclear fire, man, right? So that they're going to reap bountifully in judgment, right? We don't want any part of that, right? We want to have that reward, that bountiful reaping in the spirit, man, which is that salvation.
Hey, to add to you, somebody get Matthew 6 about the storing up treasures in heaven, because part of how you one of the things that we're stowing, bountifully is pushing forth the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, teaching this doctrine the way it was correctly supposed to be taught, getting up as much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as we can, so that we'll be ready in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Because like you just said, these other guys, man, they're gonna reap judgment because they've been sowing to this world. So once the Lord he puts the clamps on this world, everything that they didn't pretty much sow for, they ain't gonna have nothing to reap for once this world is done with. Because all the things that they were putting work in for, the Lord is destroying. So when we're entering into the next world to come, they ain't got no type of stock in what's coming. That's why we're putting all our chips in on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, like Atazma always talk about. That return on investment we're making spiritually is gonna vastly outweigh all the bullshit that these niggas is doing on this side, man.
Exactly.
This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is,
fish out slocky.
God says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Yeah, so you're not supposed to be laying up for yourselves treasures upon earth, man. The fleshly desires, man. Because that like I said, moth and rust will corrupt, thieves break through, and still ultimately it's all these tangible things are gonna pass away, man. So the thing that we're storing up is our spiritual bank account, man. All right, that's what we're stacking up, man. So that whenever this world ends, we'll be able to cash out on all the things the Lord has prepared for us coming into Jacob's trouble, which is that number one is that hedge, man. Exactly. We're gonna have that hedge of protection because, like we said, we're going into, a time of the Lord about to let loose these spirits that these people act like they don't know and see what's going on. But then we saw this past weekend what happened in Miami. That's a small glimpse of the different things the Lord's about to start doing to this world, man. And Lord willing, we've been doing what we're supposed to in the spirit, man. We're gonna have the angels protecting us, like it says in Psalms 34 and 7, Psalm 91. We're going to have a hedge around us, man, and we're going to be protected and guided through the walk. The Lord's going to be speaking to us, but like I said, if you're not sowing to the spirit, how are you going to know when the Lord is speaking to you, man? All right, this is why we're being taught these things now, man. When we see 144, all right, when certain things, happen to fall in our favor, that's the Lord showing us that he's with us now, man. So if you're not confident and sure on that he's dealing with you now, you're going to be asked out whenever the Lord is going to, kind of take a back seat and truly see, okay, let me see if he's really prepared, like he like he said he was, man. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I got a quick one. It's Hosea chapter 10 and verse 12. Just laying backing off that point, right? Because we're seeking mercy from the Lord, man, right? As is precepts that tell you how the Lord is about to remove peace and mercy, right, from 2/3, man. They've been given an opportunity, in hearing this word to come into that hedge and receive that mercy from the judgment that He's about to bring, right? And that you have to do, righteous works, and have faith and belief, to receive that mercy, right? So what we're doing right now, we're storing up those treasures in heaven, and one of those treasures is to have the mercy from the judgment that the Lord is about to bring upon the land, right? But
Mhm.
this is Hosea chapter 10 and verse 12. It says, "Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy," right? So we sow in righteousness, right? We do the works in righteousness, and we're gonna reap in mercy, man. We're gonna be able to have that bountiful harvest, right? In the mercy and protection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says, "Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord till He come and rain righteousness upon you. You have plowed wickedness, ye have reaped iniquity," right? And that's the lot of 2/3, man, right? They've done the works, in wickedness, man. They've done things, to forward themselves in this current hegemony, man. It says, "Ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in thy way in the multitude of thy mighty men," right? And we understand the ways of man are the ways of death, man. So you go your own way, you're ultimately going to be put to death, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. But you continue to sow in righteousness, you are going to reap in mercy at the end of the day, man.
That's right. Yeah, because the thing we gonna have over the rest of the world, in these times, man, is that we got the Lord with us, man. All right. So the main thing that we gotta remember and do throughout this whole walk, leading all the way up to the end, is 2 Corinthians 5:7. It says, "For we walk by faith and not by sight," man. All right. Because the thing that we can't see is more powerful than the things that we can see. So we know the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, is more powerful than the things of the flesh, man. And so we want that spiritual protection. We want that spiritual power. We want everything that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua promised us that we can't physically see right now to take place for us when we need it the most, man. Because the thing that you can see with your eyes, man, it's gonna be done away with, man.
God.
But that was my last one. Unless y'all had anything else.
That was it.
That's all right.
So hey, with that, Lord willing, man, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.